hectic, a bit busy the last sort of couple of weeks. Obviously, with school being on holidays and my wife being off work as well because she works in a school. I've had a bit of a chest infection as well, and that's why I've not done any of these lives. But today's live is I'm going to carry on painting this painting that I did a little while back. I can't remember when exactly I did this, but it's a really nice scene, sort of almost like a Highland scene in Scotland. You got some lake, a bit of a lake, some water in the background, and then these sort of mountains. And I love the colour in the sky that I've got. So I think today's painting, I think this live, I'm not gonna do so much in the sky. That's the plan. Just want to add some further details in the foreground. Just add some darker tones and see how we got on. So let's just move the camera just a little touch. I'm trying to get all of the painting in the frame, but obviously with the setup that I've got and with the live, I think you have to have it in portrait mode, which is a bit, I find it a bit strange to be honest, but nevertheless we're gonna go ahead and not let that spoil things. And if you do join me, please do give us a thumbs up, just so that more people can join when they see. Obviously it just helps with the algorithm, and just after building more of a community here on my channel. I've got some really nice people who follow and enjoy these sort of videos, so if you'd like to be part of that tribe, and just I do post each and every week as much as I can really. Obviously it's not as easy when you've got a family and other commitments. It's not quite as easy as that. Thanks for the like. Hopefully you enjoy this one. And if you don't get to see this while it's live, I will be leaving it on my channel, so you can always catch this one in your own time. It will be left there for you to see. So I'm gonna work quite quick. I don't want to be too long. My son's in bed. He'll be up quite shortly. It being 11 o'clock. He's on holiday, so he does like to stay in bed a bit. And he usually gets up and starts saying he's hungry, so he wants his lunch. He sleeps through breakfast. So yeah, I'm just nice scene, and this is one that I did here on my channel. If you want to see the original painting, this one when I did it, it was done on my channel, and hopefully I just add a bit more detail, and hopefully I just help this one to pop. As I mean, sometimes if you do paintings yourself, a lot of times when you come back to it, when you've got fresh eyes and you've not seen the painting for a while, a lot of times you can see things that you can add just to make it a little bit more, a better painting, enhance a few areas. And that's the purpose of this. I've done a few lives now where I've done this sort of thing. You can check them out on my channel. I've got a few videos there now on my live. If you just look at my live posts, I've done a few now. And it's something that I do want to do on a regular basis. I'm looking at every Tuesday. Obviously, as long as I can. As long as I've not got appointments or anything going on, I will carry on with this Tuesday live stream, usually about 10 o'clock. But I did miss last week just because of this chest infection. I've been coughing, and I didn't want to come on the live. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I've still got the cough, but fingers crossed I don't start having a coughing fit while I'm on this live. But there we go. You can see just a few, when you add a few details, just a little bit of darker tone, you can see how it makes these rocks pop. It really is nice to do. And if you've not seen how I do these rocks, then you can check out on my channel. I have quite a few videos. I do like to paint these landscapes. If you're not familiar with my channel, I do love to paint these landscapes, and oftentimes it is a made-up scene. I just really do enjoy painting these sort of mountain scenes and adding rocks and all that sort of thing. So it is nice to add these rocks as well. Let me pop you closer. There we go. I do apologize. I don't have a very good setup. This my camera is actually on my ring light, so it's a little bit, when I move it anyway, it's a little bit shaky. It's not the best. I can't do it on my tripod because of the orientation of the format of the way it's got to be done. I just don't understand why you can't do in landscape mode with the camera. It just doesn't make sense to me. But I don't know, if you do lives and you can, if it is possible to do your filming in landscape mode, then please let me know. I'd love to know if you can, and obviously that would be a better way of filming for me, especially because most of my paintings, most of the things that I do paint are in this landscape format anyway. So welcome. Hopefully you get some useful tips, information from this video. But I like to do these, and I know that I do have some regular people who like to join, some of my friends here on YouTube. You can see just the difference, just that little bit of darker tone does make in the, sorry, just move the camera a little bit again. You can actually see the way just adding a little bit of darker tones does make that difference. I know I'm really guilty of leaving the darker, just not going too dark. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's fear of ruining the painting. Maybe, I don't know. I just sort of stop prematurely when, and then when I come and look at some of my paintings a while later, I just see that it could have been added to. I don't know why I stop painting when I do, but obviously a lot of them can benefit from the darker tones, and for me, I think that's really where the magic lies, when you get the darker tones. Obviously the darker tones help the lights to be, to look lighter. So I'm just gonna do as much as I can, really, just add some of these darker tones and just see how we get on. There we go, just add some of these darker tones, and I really want the water, especially the sparkle of the water, the highlights. When I add the darker tones, I want this water to really pop, really sort of. The darker tones really do help the lighter tones, and that's why it is important. I know that I do sort of finish when there's definitely more darks to be added. It's when the darks are added, that's really when the painting comes to life, and so that's why I'm doing this. And like all the other live paintings that I've done, just finishing or adding towards some of the paintings that I've done, it really does help. It really does make a difference. And so if you are like me, hopefully this is going to be useful. And it doesn't matter how long ago you did the painting. If you're like me, sometimes I just see things afterwards, and that's why I'm doing this. Any chat? No. Okay. I did do, my last video was of, we did spend the night, just the night in Blackpool. If you've not seen that video, then it's quite a nice one. Just a fun painting to do. I did of Blackpool. There's a place there, Coral Island, and it's where the arcades are, and lots of machines and things that you can go on just for fun. It really is quite an interesting place. Just one of those places that I've used to go as a kid. Used to be taken there with my family, and now I've got my own family. It's nice to get there with my family as well. My son is just, he loves the arcade machines, and just being in Coral Island, it's just a fun place to be, and you can always get some nice food. There's lots of burger, hot dogs, fish and chips, that sort of thing. If you just give me a sec, the cat wants to go out. Ella, right, come on. Why do you stand? Come on. Come on then. I think one of the other lives that I did, she was just non-stop, and it's just one of those things, I'm afraid, when you've got things like that going on. My son's just got up as well, so I had to signal to him to just, if he's going to be down here, then just pop your headphones on. So yeah, I'm not going to be too long this live. I'm going to try and wrap it up quite quickly, but I do appreciate you being here. Let me know what you think. Drop us a comment. I'd love to know your thoughts. Are you one of these artists as well that sometimes don't finish? Well, that's what it seems to me. It looks like it's just an unfinished painting. Let me add some green. I want to add some green, some dark green to this area. So yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts. If you do this sort of thing, do your painting, and then a while later, you know, it don't matter. I mean, I don't know when I did this painting. It was maybe a few months ago. If you've seen this one, let me know. It's on my main channel when I painted this. But I'd love to know your thoughts. I'd love to know what you think. And if you are here and not given me a like, please do give me a like. I really do appreciate that. I'm just going to turn the camera just a bit this side. Yep, I'm going to add a little bit of green as well to this side, just to give it a little bit of balance. I'm not going to add too much green to this side. I want, you know, I want to keep it the colour that I've already got there. I think that might do. And maybe just add some really dark to this top of the mountain. And it really does remind me of Scotland, maybe the Highlands or somewhere like that, or even Wales or the Lake District. We have lots of different places in this country, in the UK, like this. And so it really is a nice thing to paint. I do love painting these sort of scenes. Okay, so you can see. So just a little bit of dark, and I'm just going, I'm not changing the shape or anything like that. I'm just going into where I've already painted with a darker mix of a bit of sap green, a bit of French ultramarine, burnt umber, and that sort of mix, and it's giving me, as I'm adding some more blue, it's giving me more towards a grey. You can see that now, more towards a grey sort of colour. If I do go quiet, it's just because I'm concentrating. But yeah, just gives it a nice tone, and I'm just, you can see, just adding that to the green. I want this to mix as well. It's nice. I think it's nice to let the paints mix on the paper. Obviously, there's the, I don't know whether to say normal, because but the traditional way, I suppose, is mixing on the palette. But I do like to allow the mixing to happen on the paper, just to give that nice varying colour. So I like to have colours just touch other colours and mix on the paper, and it just gives that nice freshness to the painting. There we go. And then you've got dry brush as well. So just let the paint run out on your brush and then give it some strokes. And you get these broken edges as well, so it's lovely for texture. It just gives a really nice, just a really nice texture to the scene as well. I'm going to go in some dark. Ooh, that is quite dark. And always remember that watercolour does dry lighter than when you put the paint down. Just adding some darks in between. You can see the difference there, hopefully. Let me move the camera again. I do apologise. But just adding these quite dark now. And you can see the difference. It really does help. It makes the painting pop. Just the darks really does help, especially with the light. So if you put a dark right next to a light area, a highlighted area, you get these really nice. It just gives this, it's all about contrast. So when you have the darks, put them next to the light, it really helps the light as well. And I can't stress that enough. But let me know what you think. Do you paint landscapes? What sort of things do you like to paint? I'd love to know. And please do give us a thumbs up. I see there's a few people now. 3. But it's quite a new thing for me, live streaming. So I just want to build up a bit of an audience for, like I said, usually Tuesdays. But this last week has been a bit hit and miss, really. I even struggle doing, I've had videos go out, but doing my audio, I've been really coughing. I've been okay until I've started the audio. And then as soon as I start recording, I just start coughing and coughing uncontrollably. So I didn't want that to obviously be on the video. So I just thought I'd have a bit of a rest from, especially the live stream, because there's not much you can do. There's sort of no way out of that one. So yeah, every Tuesday, that's the plan. Every Tuesday, 10 o'clock here in the UK time. I don't know what that is, what you say for 10 o'clock in the UK. I know in the States, is it Eastern? I don't know, EST or something. I have no idea. But in the UK, 10 o'clock in the morning is usually a good time for me. So, and that's the plan. I do appreciate if you give us a thumbs up. Let me know what you think as well. Comments are welcome. Just pop in and say hi. I don't mind that at all. It's just nice to have you here. So I do appreciate you being here. Like I said, these are just paintings I've got. When you paint every week, at least once, you soon have a massive collection, growing up, and just knowing what to do with the paintings. You know, I just keep them all and put them in the spare room, and they do start building up. So that's why I wanted to sort of start doing lives as well, just to give me something different to do and to show you exactly like what to do with some of your paintings. Maybe you can do the same, just get some of your older paintings out and just see what you could add to the painting just to enhance what you've already done. And there's certainly nothing wrong with that. I think maybe I'm impatient. You know, I do a painting and I'm quite happy with the painting and, you know, the way it looks, and I just stop painting. But for me, it really, you know, and people ask how long did that take? Well, you can really take as much time as you want. It depends on how you want the result to be. I mean, for me, it's just the time. If I want it to, the better I want it to look, then obviously the more time I can spend on that painting. So it's just about when you decide to finish. But then just sometimes you do sort of like me, just finish prematurely. I don't know whether this is too dark, but there we go. Oh, there we go. Right. I think that might have killed it a bit. I don't know. What do you think? I do have a little bit of a snuffly nose as well, so I do apologise. Let me lift just a little bit of that. I think it is a little bit dark, but it's okay. It's okay. It's not ruined. If you think it is, then just let me know. But yeah, I really do just love painting mountains. I love painting skies, that sort of thing. So if you don't know my channel, if you've not been here before, then first of all, welcome. And if you hit the subscribe, if you hit the subscribe button and your notifications, the notification bell, then you will be notified every time I do upload. And like I say, I do try and upload as many times a week as I can, as time permits. Obviously, you know, I'd love to paint every day and, you know, get lost in my paintings, but it's not always that straightforward. It's not always that simple, especially when you do have a family. But I do try and make as much time as I can to get these videos out. And obviously it's not about quantity really. I'm going to try and get more quality out there. So it's like a balance really, you know. I want to try and do the best I can and show you how I do these paintings. But I don't want the quality to go down either. It's not about how many paintings I can do in a week. But sometimes, you know, I do like to work fast and loose in my approach rather than going really tight. I mean, I'm adding more details now, so that's more, it's more, what would you call it? I suppose it's getting less loose and more sort of realistic. But that's fine. I do like to do that. But initially, I do like to do nice and loose paintings, and they do usually take me about half an hour, 40 minutes to do a complete painting from start to finish. And that's probably why I have to get these and just work a little bit more on them as well. Maybe I should slow down and take more time. But I do enjoy doing these lives, so I've got maybe, I don't know, hundreds of paintings up in the spare room. So I'm happy to do these lives and just show you. And it's good for me as well for the paintings that I've done. It's nice to see these and with fresh eyes. And I've said it loads of times on my channel here, you know, if you do like to paint, just take plenty of breaks. It does help, you know, when you take 5 minutes, 10 minutes out while you're painting and then come back to it, you got fresh perspective on the painting, and you can see things that you wouldn't normally see. It's like the saying, you can't see the wood for the trees. And it's exactly the same in your painting, whether it be watercolor, oils, acrylics, whatever it may be. Sometimes it's just good to step back and just see what you see when you come back to it. You know, sometimes I do paintings and the next day when I see it, I'm thinking, wow, what was I thinking? I'm not happy with it at all. And that happens, and it's fine. Sometimes it's late at night when I do these paintings, and so sometimes I'm quite tired. So I don't really get the results sometimes that I want. When I start a painting, I've got a sort of idea in my head. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I go in and I just start adding paint and just see what happens. If you've seen my channel before, you know that's sometimes what happens. I just go in without too much of an idea. Okay, I'll be thinking I'm going to do a painting with a few mountains in the distance. I'm going to add some trees to the foreground. I'm going to scrape out a few rocks, but that's pretty much my plan. And so it's nice to just let the watercolor take you on a journey, you know, with no sort of plans, or, you know, not much planned in your head. And a lot of times it does work in your favor. You know, sometimes it doesn't, and that's just watercolor. That's just life. You know, sometimes it doesn't work, but a lot of times you get some really nice things happen, and you get all those happy accidents. And I think especially in watercolor, you have less control, and it's good to let the watercolor sort of control the painting, if you know what I mean. So it's just a case of mastering the techniques, learning some techniques, and then as you paint, you know how the paint's going to act, how the water control, you know, how much water you've got on the brush, and what you can do with that. And again, it's about timing as well. So you got to hit the paper while the paint's, you know, certain sort of wetness. But it all comes down with practice. It all comes down to practice, really. So it's just learning that. And the best way to learn is just keep practicing. Just paint as much as you can. And as you learn these skills, as you learn these different techniques, it just becomes a tool for you to use, and you can use that and just keep going, keep trying, keep practicing. I'm quite amazed by a lot of artists, you know, that start up and that not been painting very long, and I'm quite surprised that they're at a level. I've been painting for a long time now. It's been, well, when I was 16, so it's about 30 years I've been painting, on and off. You know, a lot of time, especially when I started when I was 16, and then when I was, I stopped for a few years, and then I started again when I was about 20, 21. And then I sort of stopped again for a little while. But the last sort of 6, 7 years, I've been more consistent, I've been more on and off. And I really have grown. I've seen, I've learned lots about painting, and I've really improved. And so that's the key to improvement, is practice. It really does make a difference when you grab your paints and just go for it. It really does make all the difference. And so I want to encourage you, if you do paint, then just grab your paints, and sketchbooks are quite good as well. You know, if you don't have any sketchbooks, You can invest in sketchbooks, and it can be a private thing. You don't have to share those with anyone. You know, it's something you can do in your own time, and it's almost like it's like a diary, a visual diary. I'm no good at writing things down or you know, keeping diaries, but I do prefer, you know, sketchbooks in that sort of way. If I'm keeping sort of record, or it's good just to see your progress, so you can write the dates. And that's something that I need to probably start doing, is writing the dates on the back of these paintings, just so that I can see, sort of have a timeline of, you know, when things were painted. And I guess, well, then again, maybe YouTube is quite good for that. As I post paintings, it's, you know, something that I've been painting, and I know the date when I sort of painted it. But it's good to know. And if you do have, you know, quite a few paintings, keep them. You know, don't get rid of them. Don't think, you know, I don't like this one, and throw it, because it's nice to see the progress that you make. It's nice to see things that you're learning, things that you're improving, and it's good to see things that you can improve with. It's just like the, you know, fresh eyes. So just keep all your work, keep them, and then even if you come back to them and have a look a year down the line, you'll be quite surprised, I think. Especially if you do carry on painting and just paint as much as you can, you'll be quite surprised at how quick you can sort of improve the lessons that you learn. It really is a wonderful thing. I don't think I'm going to work anymore on this. I do quite like it. My son came down as well, so I don't want to, you know, I don't want to abandon him. But if you see, it's quite a nice painting. My brew's gone cold now. But hopefully you like this one. Hopefully you find it useful. Thank you for being here. Let me just give you another look. So yeah, that's it for this one. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate your comments, your thumbs up, your feedback, if you do have any. And if you watch this video from my channel after this live, then please do let me know what you think, and hopefully you can join me again. I will be posting, if I can do Tuesday, I will be letting you know. But that's the plan. I'm trying to get back into it after this nasty chest infection. I've had some antibiotics, and seem to be my chest infection's gone. I've just been left with this horrible cough. But hopefully get back to normal, and back on my live feed every Tuesday. So thanks for joining, and I'll see you in the next video.